Have you ever whispered your deepest desires to the universe only to be met with silence? You're not alone. Millions of people around the world send their wishes into the cosmos each day, hoping for abundance to find them, only to check their bank accounts and wonder why nothing has changed. Why is it that some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth, while others remain stuck in financial struggle despite their best efforts? The answer might surprise you. And it's not what most manifestation teachers are telling you. What if I told you that the difference between those who manifest wealth and those who don't isn't about how much they want it, how hard they work, or even how much they visualize? What if the secret lies in just 3 simple words that can command $500,000 or any amount into your life with absolute certainty? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Has this ever happened to you? You set an intention, create a vision board, repeat affirmations daily, and yet weeks or months later, you're still in the same financial position, or worse, facing unexpected expenses that seem to mock your manifestation attempts. Stay with me, because today we're going to uncover why this happens and how to fix it once and for all. The universe operates on precise, immutable laws, just like gravity. And just as gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or not, the law of manifestation works whether you understand it or not. The problem is, most people are unknowingly working against these laws rather than with them. They're asking, begging, and hoping instead of commanding. You see, the universe doesn't respond to wishes cast with uncertainty. It responds only to commands issued with unwavering certainty. This is why 2 people can say the exact same affirmations, but only one receives results. One is asking, the other is commanding. One is hoping, the other knows it's already done. What you're about to discover might completely transform how you interact with the universe. These 3 words I'm about to share with you aren't magical incantations, but they do trigger a profound shift in your energetic signature. A shift that the universe cannot ignore. Throughout history, the wealthiest and most successful people have understood this principle, whether consciously or unconsciously. Joseph Murphy, one of the pioneers in mind power research, discovered decades ago that the way you communicate with the universe determines everything about your financial reality. And it all comes down to mastering the art of commanding rather than requesting. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with an unshakable knowing that $500,000 is already yours, not hoping it might come someday, but feeling the absolute certainty that it already belongs to you in the spiritual realm and is now making its way into your physical reality. How would that change your day, your decisions, your energy? The truth is, most people have been taught to approach manifestation from a position of lack. They say, I want, which only reinforces the absence of what they desire. But what if instead of begging for abundance, you began commanding it? The entire trajectory of your manifestation journey would transform overnight. If you're ready to master the art of commanding wealth into your life, hit that subscribe button now. Each video brings you closer to the abundance that's rightfully yours. I'm not here to waste your time with long, drawn-out explanations that leave you exactly where you started. My commitment is to deliver short, powerful, truly transformational content that cuts straight to the core of what actually works. No fluff, no filler, just the potent truth that creates real change in your financial reality. Let's address something that's probably frustrated you before. Why traditional affirmations so often fail. You've likely tried repeating phrases like, I am rich, or money flows to me easily, hundreds, if not thousands of times. Maybe you diligently stood in front of your mirror each morning, repeating these phrases with hope in your heart. Yet your bank account remained unchanged, leaving you wondering if this whole manifestation thing is just elaborate wishful thinking. The hidden truth is that affirmations themselves aren't broken. It's how we've been taught to use them that's fundamentally flawed. Words without energetic alignment are just empty sounds vibrating in the air. They have no magnetic power to attract what you desire. This revelation transformed my own relationship with wealth when I discovered it during my darkest financial moment. Think of it this way. Have you ever listened to someone speak who clearly didn't believe what they were saying? You could feel the disconnect between their words and their energy, couldn't you? The universe perceives this same disconnect when you recite affirmations while doubt, fear, or unworthiness runs beneath your words. The breakthrough comes when you understand that manifestation isn't about the words themselves, but the vibrational signature behind them. When your energetic frequency matches what you're commanding, the universe has no choice but to respond. This is where most people's manifestation journey gets derailed. They're sending mixed signals, speaking prosperity while radiating scarcity. This mindset shift represents a profound crossroads in your abundance journey. It's not about learning more techniques or adding more visualization sessions to your day. It's about embodying a completely different relationship with the universal forces that govern wealth creation. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the exact energetic key that transforms ordinary words into powerful commands that the universe must obey. This key has remained hidden in plain sight, overlooked by most teachers of manifestation and abundance. When you begin to see how this inner transformation naturally creates external results, everything about your financial situation begins to shift. The impact is immediate and undeniable once you align your conscious commands with your subconscious beliefs. If this approach to manifestation feels different from what you've tried before, write in the comments, "I'm ready to command, not ask." The hidden truth about manifestation that most people miss is this: words themselves have no inherent power. It's the energy signature behind those words that creates your reality. Think of it like music. The same notes played without passion sound empty and hollow, but when filled with emotion and intention, they can move you to tears. Your communication with the universe works in exactly the same way. When you speak to the universe with trembling uncertainty, hesitation, or a sense of unworthiness, those vibrations override whatever words you're using. You could be saying, "I am wealthy," while your energy is broadcasting, "I don't really believe this is possible for me." And the universe always responds to the stronger signal. This revelation completely transformed my own manifestation journey when I discovered it during a profound moment of clarity. The universe doesn't have ears, it has energy receptors. It's constantly reading and responding to your energetic broadcast, not your verbal requests. This is why two people can say identical affirmations with radically different results. One person speaks from a place of conviction and certainty, while the other speaks from hope mixed with doubt. The universe can feel the difference instantly. Now let's talk about why I specifically mentioned commanding $500,000 into your life. There's actual psychology and energetic science behind this number. $500,000 sits in what I call the quantum sweet spot of manifestation. It's large enough to stretch your current belief system, but not so massive that your subconscious immediately rejects it as impossible. When you set a target that's too small, like $5,000, it doesn't require a significant shift in your identity or belief system. Your life doesn't fundamentally change. But when you set a target that's too enormous, like $50 million, most people's internal resistance kicks in so strongly that manifestation becomes nearly impossible. The secret is to find that sweet spot where the number feels exciting and expansive, yet still within the realm of possibility. $500,000 represents a powerful threshold where most people can begin to imagine what that freedom would feel like. No more stress about bills, the ability to help family members, investment opportunities, perhaps a dream home or travel experiences, while still feeling attainable with the right mindset breakthrough. This calibration point creates the perfect balance between stretch and belief that accelerates manifestation. The inner journey to this level of abundance isn't just about attracting money, it's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally magnetizes this level of prosperity. This requires a profound identity shift where you move from hoping money might come to knowing with absolute certainty that it already belongs to you. I'm about to reveal the exact three-word command that bridges this gap, words that, when spoken with genuine conviction, literally rearrange the energetic patterns of your reality. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about aligning with universal law. If you've been sensing that there's a missing piece in your manifestation practice, something beyond the basic techniques you've been taught, drop a comment below saying, "I'm ready for the command." When we talk about manifesting $500,000, we need to understand something crucial. This journey isn't actually about the money itself. This revelation transformed my entire perspective on wealth creation. The numerical value, $500,000, is simply a vessel for what you're truly commanding into your life. Freedom, pure, unbridled freedom. Imagine waking up tomorrow and checking your accounts to find $500,000 there. What changes instantly isn't just your financial status, it's your entire relationship with life itself. The knot of tension that forms in your stomach when an unexpected bill arrives. Gone. The hesitation you feel when considering whether to help a family member in need. Vanished. The quiet dread that accompanies each swipe of your credit card. Dissolved. This level of abundance represents a profound paradigm shift, the liberation from financial fear. It's about walking into any store and purchasing what you need without first checking your account balance. It's about making decisions based on what truly resonates with your soul, rather than what your limited resources dictate. It's about the sacred power to give generously without calculating the impact on your own security. And here's where the breakthrough really happens. When you connect emotionally to this freedom, rather than fixating on the number itself, you actually accelerate the manifestation process. The universe responds much more powerfully to the vibration of freedom than it does to the vibration of wanting money. This subtle distinction makes all the difference in your manifestation journey. Now, let's unveil one of the most transformative insights about abundance that Joseph Murphy discovered through decades of research. Money is not attracted to people who need it. Money is attracted to people who command it. And there is a massive energetic difference between these two states of being. Need is essentially emotional scarcity broadcast at high volume. When you need money, you're transmitting a frequency of lack. And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, can only reflect that lack back to you. This creates the painful cycle many find themselves trapped in. The more desperately they need money, the more it seems to evade them. Command, on the other hand, is spiritual authority in action. It's standing in the unshakable knowing that abundance is your divine birthright. Command doesn't plead or bargain, it simply declares what is already true in the spiritual realm and watches as physical reality aligns itself accordingly. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment with universal law. The profound insight that shifted everything for me was realizing that you cannot authentically command something you secretly believe you don't deserve. Your worthiness must precede your words. This is the essential inner work that most manifestation teachings completely miss. the reconditioning of your worthiness operating system. When you make this inner shift from needing to commanding, from hoping to knowing, the entire universe reorganizes itself around your new energetic broadcast. Opportunities that were always there but invisible to you suddenly become apparent. Resources align, synchronicities multiply. What seemed impossible becomes your new normal. If you've been struggling with manifestation despite your best efforts, it might be time to ask yourself, have I been needing money or commanding it? Type commanding now in the comments if this distinction has illuminated something important for you. Let me share something that might completely reframe your understanding of why manifestation has felt so difficult until now. The revelation that changed everything for me was discovering that most people aren't failing at manifestation because they're doing something wrong. They're simply operating from an entirely incorrect paradigm. You're not lazy. You're not unspiritual. You're not being punished or overlooked by the universe. You've just been using the wrong rulebook altogether. Subscribe to continue your journey of financial transformation. I share powerful techniques that most manifestation teachers never reveal. Think about this. From childhood, most of us were conditioned to ask permission, to hope for the best, to wish upon stars. We learned to be good, patient children waiting for rewards to be bestowed upon us by authority figures. And unconsciously, we've transferred this exact same relationship dynamic to the universe. We've been treating the cosmic forces of creation like cosmic parents who might, if we're good enough, patient enough, or deserving enough, finally grant our wishes. This fundamental misunderstanding creates an energetic posture of waiting, hoping, and subtle begging that actually repels abundance rather than attracting it. The breakthrough moment in your manifestation journey happens when you realize this truth. The universe isn't your parent, it's your servant. This mindset revolution isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about accurately understanding the mechanics of creation. The universe is an impersonal force, designed to respond to commands, not wishes. It's programmed to obey orders, not evaluate worthiness. It mirrors back whatever energetic broadcast you're emitting with perfect precision. When you approach the universe with uncertainty, saying things like, "I hope this works," or "Please let this happen for me," you're essentially telling the universe to keep you in a state of hoping and asking rather than receiving. The universe doesn't judge these requests as good or bad, it simply reflects back the exact frequency you're transmitting. The catalyst for transformation occurs when you shift from asking to declaring, from hoping to commanding. This isn't just a semantic change in the words you use. It's a complete recalibration of your relationship with the forces of creation. It's moving from the energetic posture of a child to the energetic posture of a creator. Joseph Murphy discovered this principle decades ago through working with thousands of people seeking financial transformation. Those who continued to ask and beg remained stuck, while those who learned to command with quiet authority saw their financial realities transform, often in ways that seemed miraculous to outside observers. This awakening to your creative authority represents one of the most profound evolutionary leaps in consciousness possible. It's the moment you reclaim your power as a co-creator rather than remaining a passive recipient of life's circumstances. The universe has been waiting for you to step into this role since the day you were born. When you make this fundamental shift, manifestation stops being about trying harder or doing more spiritual practices. It becomes about embodying a different state of being, one where you naturally command rather than request, where you declare rather than hope, where you know rather than wish. If you're feeling a resonance with this concept, perhaps even a sense of remembering something your soul has always known, write, "I am the commander," in the comments below. Now, I want to reveal the three simple yet profound words that have the power to command $500,000, or any amount, into your life with absolute certainty. These words might seem ordinary on the surface, but when spoken with the right energy, they literally rearrange the quantum field around you. The words are, "It is done." Take a moment and say these words quietly to yourself right now. It is done. Did you feel that? There's a subtle but unmistakable shift in your body when you speak these words with conviction. A settling occurs, a quieting of the anxious mind, a peaceful certainty that replaces the frantic energy of wanting. This physiological response is actually your first clue that you've tapped into something profoundly powerful. These three words carry atomic-level energy when spoken from a place of genuine authority rather than hope. They aren't magical in themselves. The magic happens in the consciousness shift they create within you. When you declare, "It is done," you're stepping outside the conventional timeline where manifestation is something that happens in the future. Instead, you're aligning yourself with the quantum reality where what you desire already exists. This represents a revolutionary departure from traditional manifestation approaches. Most methods position abundance as something you'll hopefully attract sometime in the future if you do enough visualization exercises or recite enough affirmations. But It Is Done operates on an entirely different principle. It's not about attracting something new, but aligning with what already exists in the field of infinite possibilities. When you say, "It is done," you're not expressing a wish for the future. You're making a declaration about present reality. You're communicating to the universe in its native language, the language of completion and certainty. This is why these words create such immediate resonance within your energetic system. The insight that transformed my own relationship with these words came when I realized that "it is done" isn't future tense at all. It's present certainty. It's stepping into the version of reality where what you desire isn't coming. It's already here. This subtle but profound distinction changes everything about how manifestation works. Think about the moments in your life when you absolutely knew something was going to happen. Perhaps you were certain you would get a particular job or connect with a specific person. That unshakable knowing created a different energy than hoping or wishing, didn't it? That's the exact frequency "It Is Done" helps you access consistently and intentionally. When you declare these words with authentic conviction, you're essentially telling the universe that you've already placed your cosmic order, and now you're simply waiting for physical reality to catch up with what's already been created in the spiritual realm. You're not hoping for something new to happen. You're acknowledging what already is. This represents a quantum leap in manifestation consciousness, moving from the energy of request to the energy of recognition. It's no longer about convincing the universe to give you something, but recognizing what the universe has already provided. If these three words are resonating with something deep within you, as though they're awakening a dormant understanding you've always carried, type "It Is Done" in the comments below. Now, I want to go even deeper into why these three words, "It Is Done," work so powerfully when combined with the right mental imagery. This reveals one of the most fascinating discoveries about human consciousness that Joseph Murphy documented throughout his research. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. This revelation completely transforms how we understand manifestation. When you close your eyes and imagine holding that $500,000 check with all your senses fully engaged, feeling the paper between your fingers, seeing your name printed boldly across it, experiencing the rush of emotion as you realize what this means for your life. Your body and nervous system begin responding as if this event is actually happening in real time. Your heartbeat changes, your biochemistry shifts, your brain waves alter. This isn't metaphysical theory, it's neurological reality. The same regions of your brain activate whether you're physically experiencing something or vividly imagining it. This is why Olympic athletes use visualization so extensively. The mind cannot fundamentally differentiate between a vividly imagined perfect performance and an actual one. When you pair this vivid imagination with the declaration, "It is done," something extraordinary happens. The vibrational frequency of your entire being begins to match the reality where this abundance already exists. And since the universe operates on the principle of resonance, where like attracts like, you begin magnetizing the physical manifestation of what you've claimed in consciousness. The internal shift creates the external result, not the other way around. This represents a complete inversion of how most people approach manifestation. They believe that once they see the external evidence, then they'll feel abundant. But the breakthrough occurs when you realize that feeling the internal state first is what creates the external evidence. However, here's where most people sabotage their manifestation. They declare it is done, perhaps even feel that moment of peaceful certainty, and then 5 minutes later check their bank account in panic. When they don't see immediate evidence, doubt floods their system, cancelling out the powerful frequency they just established. This common pattern is the equivalent of planting a seed and then digging it up every few hours to see if it's growing. Not only does this prevent growth, it actively kills the very thing you're trying to nurture. The moment you declare it is done, you've placed your cosmic order. Your only job after that declaration is to maintain the feeling of certainty and allow the universal forces to orchestrate the how. Think about how a master gardener operates. They don't worry about how the seed transforms into a plant. They simply create the optimal conditions and trust the innate intelligence within the seed to do what it naturally does. Your relationship with manifestation should embody this same wisdom. You create the optimal conditions through your declaration and emotional alignment, then trust the intelligence of the universe to handle the details. This delicate balance between commanding with certainty while surrendering the how represents one of the most profound paradoxes in the manifestation journey. It's simultaneously the most powerful stance you can take and the most peaceful. If you've caught yourself checking for evidence too soon after declaring something done, type "Patience is power" in the comments below. Now let me share with you a practical framework that will help you implement these principles with consistency and precision. I call it the CAP formula, a simple 3-step approach that transforms these spiritual concepts into everyday practice. This framework emerged from years of studying what actually works in real-world manifestation, not just theory. The first element of the CAP formula is command. This is where you speak your desire as if it's already a done deal, not as something you're hoping might happen someday, but as something that's already handled at the spiritual level. Notice the fundamental difference between saying, "I hope I can attract $500,000 soon," versus "The $500,000 is already mine." One statement broadcasts uncertainty and future orientation. The other emanates certainty and present completion. When you command with authentic authority, you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. You're making a declaration from your sovereign creative power. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment with how the universe actually functions. Creation has always worked this way. Just think about the creation stories from virtually every spiritual tradition, where reality is spoken into existence through declarative commands, not tentative requests. The shift from "I hope this happens" to "it's already handled" represents a quantum leap in your manifestation power. It's moving from the energy of asking to the energy of knowing. This single shift changes everything about how the universal forces respond to you. The second element of the CAP formula is align, and this is where the real alchemy happens. Once you've made your command, you must align every aspect of your being with the reality where that command has already manifested. This means acting, thinking, feeling, and speaking as though the result is already yours. Ask yourself this transformative question. How would I walk through my day if I already had $500,000 in my account? Would your shoulders be more relaxed? Would your breathing be deeper and more peaceful? Would the small financial stresses that currently bother you simply dissolve? Would your inner dialogue change from worry to confidence? This isn't about pretending or engaging in magical thinking. It's about consciously embodying the energetic signature of your desired reality before it appears in physical form. This embodiment creates a vibrational blueprint that the universe naturally matches. The insight that changed everything for me was realizing that alignment isn't just a mental exercise. It's a full-body, full-being experience. When you truly align with the reality where your command has already manifested, you'll notice subtle but profound shifts in your posture, your tone of voice, your decision-making, even how you enter a room. These shifts aren't superficial. They're the external expressions of a fundamental internal transformation. Your physical reality can only mirror your internal state. When you command with certainty and then align your entire being with that command, you create an energetic coherence that accelerates manifestation beyond what most people believe possible. If you're beginning to sense how powerfully this alignment process could transform your relationship with abundance, type "I am aligning now" in the comments below. The third and perhaps most overlooked element of the CAP formula is permit. And this is where true liberation from manifestation struggle occurs. After you've commanded with authority and aligned your being with the reality where that command is already fulfilled, you must permit the manifestation to unfold without resistance. This sounds simple, but it represents one of the most significant breakthroughs in the manifestation journey. Most people are unconsciously blocking their own abundance through subtle forms of resistance, doubt, and fear-based thoughts that directly contradict their conscious desires. It's like driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, a tremendous amount of energy expended with minimal forward movement. Permitting means consciously releasing the internal objections that arise when you declare abundance as your reality. These objections often sound like, "Who am I to have this much money?" Or, "What will people think of me?" Or, "Is it really possible for someone like me?" These thoughts aren't random. They're protective mechanisms from your subconscious designed to keep you in familiar territory, even if that territory is financial struggle. The breakthrough comes when you recognize these thoughts not as truth, but as outdated programming that no longer serves your highest expression. When these thoughts arise, and they will, your job isn't to fight them or push them away. Your job is to observe them with compassion, thank them for trying to protect you, and then consciously choose the perspective that aligns with your command. Permitting creates an open channel for abundance to flow into your life without the usual constrictions of guilt, unworthiness, or second-guessing. It's a state of receptivity paired with worthiness, a combination that proves irresistible to the universal forces of manifestation. Now, let's explore something fascinating about the phrase, "it is done," that most people completely miss. These three words aren't magical in themselves. They function as a powerful trigger that sets divine law in motion. When spoken with authentic conviction, they activate a cascade of transformations within your subconscious mind. The moment you declare "it is done," your subconscious begins rearranging your beliefs, your habitual thought patterns, and your energetic signature to match the certainty in your declaration. It's like setting a destination in your internal GPS. Once entered, all systems begin recalibrating to lead you there by the most efficient path. This trigger effect explains why people often experience sudden insights, unexpected opportunities, or coincidences shortly after making a clear declaration. Your subconscious, now programmed with a new destination, begins scanning your environment for resources and possibilities that were always there but previously filtered out of your awareness because they didn't match your old belief system. The phrase, "it is done," essentially serves as a pattern interrupt, a way of breaking the habitual thought cycles that have been creating your current financial reality and installing a new pattern aligned with abundance. This isn't positive thinking, it's strategic recoding of your mental and emotional operating system. If you've experienced synchronicities or unexpected opportunities after making a clear declaration in the past, share your story in the comments with "divine timing revealed." Here's something that will completely transform how you communicate with the universal forces of abundance. The universe doesn't speak English, Spanish, Mandarin, or any human language at all. The universe speaks one language exclusively: energy. This revelation changes everything about how manifestation actually works. When you whine to the universe, "Why isn't this working for me?" the universe doesn't hear your words. It hears the frequency of your frustration, which translates energetically as uncertainty and lack. When you complain about bills or financial stress, the universe doesn't register your specific concerns. It simply receives and then mirrors back the vibration of scarcity you're broadcasting. This misunderstanding about universal communication explains why so many people feel like they're doing all the right things in their manifestation practice, yet seeing minimal results. They're focusing on perfecting their words while neglecting the energy behind those words. It's like trying to communicate with someone by using perfect grammar in a language they don't understand. The moment you grasp this principle, that energy, not words, is the universal language. A profound shift occurs in your manifestation practice. You begin paying attention to how you feel when you speak, rather than obsessing over the exact phrases you're using. You recognize that your emotional broadcast is infinitely more powerful than your verbal one. When you say "it is done" with authentic confidence and inner peace, the universe doesn't hear those three English words. It receives the energetic signature of completion, certainty, and alignment. This frequency communicates more clearly to the universal forces than 1,000 perfectly crafted affirmations recited with doubt. This insight reveals why two people can use identical manifestation techniques with radically different results. One person's practice is infused with the energy of certainty, while the other's carries an undercurrent of desperation or doubt. The universe responds not to their methods, but to their frequency. Now, let's explore one of the most powerful revelations Joseph Murphy discovered through decades of working with thousands of people. The energy of completion always attracts manifestation. This principle operates with mathematical precision in the universe. When you vibrate the frequency of completion, the feeling that what you desire is already done, you create an energetic vacuum that physical reality rushes to fill. This explains why the most powerful manifestors often seem paradoxically detached from the outcomes they desire. They're not indifferent. They're operating from the enlightened understanding that anxious wanting creates resistance, while peaceful completion creates acceleration. Think about the difference in how your body feels when you're desperately wanting something versus when you know with certainty it's already yours. Wanting creates tension, contraction, and stress. Completion creates expansion, peace, and flow. The universe responds to these distinct energetic signatures with perfect precision, bringing you more of whatever frequency you're predominantly broadcasting. The breakthrough in manifestation happens when you shift from the energy of anxious pursuit to the energy of grateful completion. This isn't about denying current reality, but transcending it by aligning with a higher reality that already exists in the quantum field of infinite possibilities. If you're beginning to feel a shift in how you understand manifestation, moving from word-based techniques to energy-based alignment, share your insight in the comments with "Energy speaks louder than words." Now I want to share a powerful visualization exercise that anchors these principles into your nervous system, creating an embodied experience of completion rather than just an intellectual understanding. This experiential dimension is what separates those who create extraordinary financial results from those who merely understand the concepts. Close your eyes for a moment if you're in a place where it's safe to do so. Take a deep breath and allow your body to relax. Now picture yourself receiving $500,000, not someday in the distant future, but right now, in this present moment. See yourself opening an envelope, an email, or checking your account and discovering this money has arrived. Notice every detail of this scene, the colors, the sounds, the expressions on people's faces around you. Now, move beyond the visual aspects and immerse yourself in the emotional landscape of this moment. Feel the wave of relief washing through your body as financial pressure dissolves. Experience the expansive calm that replaces anxiety. Savor the quiet joy that comes not from excitement, but from deep rightness, the feeling that things are exactly as they should be. Let this emotional state saturate every cell of your body. From this place of embodied completion, this sanctuary of knowing, gently whisper to yourself, "It is done." Notice how these words feel different when spoken from this state of being. They're no longer an affirmation you're trying to believe. They're simply an acknowledgement of what you now recognize as already true on the deepest level. This visualization isn't about fantasizing about a better future. It's about energetically aligning with a reality that already exists in the quantum field. When you practice this regularly, you begin dissolving the boundary between what you consider real and what you consider imagined, recognizing that both are simply different densities of energy. The journey of transformation begins with how you start each day. That's why the first practical step in implementing this wisdom is creating a morning declaration ritual that sets your energetic broadcast for the hours ahead. Every morning, in those precious moments between sleep and full wakefulness, before your feet even touch the floor, say to yourself with quiet authority, "It is done." What makes this morning practice so powerful is that you're reaching your subconscious mind when it's most receptive, before the analytical, skeptical conscious mind fully activates. In this liminal state, your declaration plants seeds directly into the fertile soil of your deeper mind without the usual resistance. Notice that in this morning ritual, you're not attaching your declaration to specific outcomes or dollar amounts. You're simply claiming the energy of completion as your dominant frequency for the day. This general declaration creates an energetic container that attracts specific manifestations aligned with abundance rather than scarcity. This seemingly simple practice creates a profound resonance that carries through your entire day. You'll begin noticing that decisions, conversations, and opportunities naturally align with this frequency of completion rather than striving. Synchronicities multiply. Solutions appear where problems once dominated. This isn't coincidence, it's causation. Your morning energy sets the pattern for what you experience throughout your day. If you've experienced that magical state between sleep and wakefulness, where manifestation feels most potent, share morning magic works in the comments below. The second powerful practice in this transformation process involves understanding how the universe actually delivers on your commands. Many people miss this crucial piece. They believe manifestation is purely an internal, mental exercise. But the universe works through movement, through action, through the physical realm. This is why aligned action becomes essential to bringing your $500,000 into tangible form. When you've made your declaration and aligned your energy with it being done, you'll begin receiving what I call inspired nudges, subtle, intuitive prompts to take specific actions. These might be impulses to call someone you haven't spoken to in years, to explore a new business idea, to attend an event you'd normally skip, or to research a topic that seems unrelated to money. The critical insight here is understanding the difference between forced action and aligned action. Forced action comes from anxiety and desperation, the frantic energy of "I need to make something happen." Aligned action, by contrast, flows naturally from your declaration of completion. It feels less like striving and more like being guided. Your role in this cosmic partnership isn't to figure out how the $500,000 will come to you. The how is the universe's department. Your role is to follow the breadcrumbs of inspiration when they appear. Remember, your declaration has opened doors in the quantum field, but your physical actions are what allow you to walk through those doors in the material world. Joseph Murphy discovered, through working with thousands of people, that those who succeeded in manifesting extraordinary abundance were those who balanced spiritual command with physical movement. They understood that commands create possibility, but actions create results. This partnership between your declarations and your decisions is where the real magic happens. Now let's explore the third essential practice that completes this manifestation blueprint: gratitude in advance. This might be the most counterintuitive yet powerful element in the entire process. Before you go to sleep each night, take a moment to thank the universe for the $500,000 as if it's already in your account. Notice the precise language here. You're not saying, "Please let this money come to me," or "I hope this manifestation works." You're expressing genuine gratitude for what you recognize is already yours in the spiritual realm and is now materializing in the physical world. This practice of advanced gratitude creates a profound neurological and energetic shift. Neurologically, it trains your brain to search for and recognize evidence of abundance rather than scarcity. Energetically, it broadcasts the frequency of having rather than wanting, and the universe always responds to your predominant frequency. The revelation that transformed my relationship with gratitude was understanding that it isn't just a nice spiritual practice, it's a powerful manifestation accelerator. Gratitude is the emotional signature of completion. When you feel truly grateful for something, you've energetically accepted it as yours. This acceptance creates a magnetic pull that draws the physical manifestation to you with remarkable speed. What's fascinating is how this practice begins reshaping your perception. When you consistently express gratitude for your $500,000 before seeing physical evidence, you'll start noticing abundant opportunities and resources that were always around you but filtered out by your previous scarcity mindset. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that determines what you notice, begins highlighting pathways to prosperity rather than confirmations of lack. If you're ready to implement this practice of advanced gratitude in your own life tonight, comment below with "Grateful now for what's already mine." Now I want to address one of the most damaging myths about manifestation and success, the belief that it must be difficult, that struggle equals virtue. This misconception has probably cost you more in lost abundance than any other single belief. We've been conditioned to think that financial success requires immense strain, sacrifice, and suffering, that anything worthwhile must be painfully acquired. But look at nature for a moment. Does a flower strain to bloom? Does the sun struggle to shine? Do the tides fight to turn? No. There's an effortless grace to how the natural world operates. The oak tree doesn't chase the sunlight. It simply grows naturally toward it. The flower doesn't pursue bees. It attracts them through its natural fragrance and color. This revelation transforms your entire relationship with manifestation. What if the struggle you've been experiencing isn't a necessary part of the process, but actually an interference with it? What if your assumption that it must be hard is precisely what's making it hard? Joseph Murphy discovered through decades of research that those who manifested with remarkable ease were those who aligned with this natural principle. They stopped pushing against the current and instead learned to flow with it. They recognized that while focused intention is essential, strained effort often creates resistance to the very thing you're trying to attract. The most profound shift happens when you realize that manifestation is more about allowing than achieving, more about becoming receptive than becoming aggressive. This isn't passive, it's actually the most powerful stance you can take. It's strategic alignment rather than exhausting force. This brings us to another transformative insight. What we often attribute to luck is actually precise alignment with universal law. Have you ever known someone who seems to effortlessly attract opportunities, who always seems to be in the right place at the right time? These individuals aren't experiencing random good fortune. They've mastered the art of calm certainty. When you observe these seemingly lucky people closely, you'll notice something fascinating. They walk through life radiating an energy that says, "It is done," while others are still caught in the frequency of desperate hoping and pleading. They don't beg the universe for blessings. They command them with quiet confidence. They don't chase opportunities. They magnetize them. The energetic difference between these two states is immediately perceptible. Desperation feels contracted, tense, and frantic. Aligned certainty feels expanded, peaceful, and grounded. One energy repels abundance, the other attracts it with precision. This distinction isn't just philosophical, it's practical. When you shift from desperately wanting $500,000 to calmly knowing it's already yours, your decisions change, your conversations change, the opportunities you notice change, your entire relationship with the material world transforms because your internal relationship with abundance has transformed. The journey from frantically chasing wealth to magnetically attracting it represents one of the most significant evolutionary leaps in consciousness possible. It's moving from the paradigm of struggle to the paradigm of flow, from the mentality of lack to the mentality of abundance. If you've experienced glimpses of this effortless alignment in your own life, moments when things just seem to fall perfectly into place, without strain, share "Alignment is my natural state" in the comments below. Now I want to address a fear that often blocks people from fully embracing their prosperity, the subconscious belief that there's only so much abundance to go around. Many of us were raised with a scarcity mindset that whispers, "If I get more, someone else must get less." This zero-sum mentality creates an internal conflict where part of you desires wealth while another part feels guilty for potentially taking from others. Let me liberate you from this limiting belief with a profound truth. Abundance is fundamentally unlimited. The universe operates from a principle of infinite expansion, not finite distribution. Your prosperity doesn't diminish anyone else's opportunity for prosperity. In fact, it actually expands the whole system. Think about it this way. When you light a candle from another candle, does the original flame diminish? Of course not. It remains just as bright while creating more light in the world. Abundance works on precisely the same principle. When you command $500,000 into your reality, you're not reducing the available pool of money for others. You're actually expanding the entire field of prosperity through your alignment with abundance consciousness. This revelation transforms how you approach the manifestation process. You no longer need to whisper your desires quietly or minimize your vision out of misplaced guilt. You can command boldly, command beautifully, knowing that your expansion serves the whole rather than depleting it. Joseph Murphy documented countless cases where one person's prosperity directly facilitated opportunities for many others. When you prosper, you create jobs, support businesses, contribute more to causes you care about, and inspire others to raise their own abundance consciousness. Your personal breakthrough becomes a catalyst for collective elevation. This brings us to another game-changing insight about the command, "It is done." Here's something most people completely misunderstand about manifestation. When you declare, "It is done," you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. The universe needs no convincing. It's already programmed to respond to your energetic broadcast with perfect precision. The real transformation is happening within you. You're convincing yourself, recoding your own beliefs, perceptions, and expectations. Because once your inner world fully accepts something as true, your outer world must follow. This isn't metaphysical philosophy. It's psychological and neurological fact. Your subconscious mind creates your perception of reality through selective filtering. It highlights evidence that confirms your current beliefs while filtering out contradictory information. When you genuinely accept at the deepest level that $500,000 is already yours, your perception shifts to notice the opportunities, resources, and pathways that were always there, but previously invisible to you. This inner acceptance creates a cascade of changes in how you show up in the world. Your posture shifts, your tone of voice changes, your decision-making transforms. You begin naturally taking actions aligned with prosperity rather than scarcity. These subtle shifts aren't superficial, they're the external manifestations of a fundamental internal transformation that makes abundance inevitable. If you're realizing that your manifestation work has been focused more on convincing the universe than convincing yourself, type "inner world creates outer world" in the comments below. Now I want to share a powerful writing ritual that anchors these principles into your physical reality. This exercise has transformed the financial destinies of countless individuals when practiced with sincerity. Take a notebook, preferably one dedicated solely to your abundance work, and at the top of a blank page, write these 3 words 3 times. It is done, it is done, it is done. There's something mysteriously powerful about the act of writing by hand. Unlike typing, handwriting engages multiple brain regions simultaneously and creates neural pathways that digital communication simply doesn't access. When you physically write these words, you're not just recording them, you're embedding them into your neurology. After writing these 3 words, describe in vivid, sensory-rich detail how your life looks and feels now that you have $500,000. Notice the crucial distinction here. You're not writing about how your life will be when the money comes someday in the future. You're writing as if it's already here, as if you're simply documenting your current reality. This subtle shift from future orientation to present acknowledgement creates a profound energetic alignment that accelerates manifestation. Describe how you feel waking up each morning knowing your financial freedom is secured. Detail how your relationships have transformed now that money stress no longer colors your interactions. Explore how your physical environment has changed, what decisions you're making differently, even how your posture and breathing have shifted now that financial pressure has been released. This writing exercise does something remarkable. It creates a detailed blueprint that your subconscious mind begins working to materialize. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you've actually experienced and what you've vividly imagined. When you create this detailed written account of your abundant reality, your subconscious begins reorganizing your perceptions, decisions, and actions to match this new blueprint. Now, let me share something that might surprise you about manifestation, something Joseph Murphy observed consistently in those who manifested with extraordinary speed. The catalytic element that supercharged their results wasn't discipline, persistence, or even belief. It was joy, pure, authentic joy. Joy is the highest vibrational state you can embody, and it's the frequency most Magnetic to abundance. When you laugh genuinely, you're telling the universe, I trust you completely. I'm so certain everything is working out that I can fully relax into this moment. This signal of trust creates an energetic opening through which abundance flows naturally and effortlessly. Most people approach manifestation with such seriousness, such strain, that they actually create resistance to what they're trying to attract. They turn wealth creation into another burden, another source of pressure. But those who master the art of playful manifestation, approaching it with lightness, curiosity, and genuine joy, create a magnetic field that abundance cannot resist. Try this revolutionary approach. Instead of worrying about the how of your manifestation, laugh at the idea that you ever doubted your power to create $500,000. Find the genuine humor in your previous limitation. This isn't about forcing fake positivity. It's about liberating yourself from the heaviness of desperate, wanting into the lightness of joyful knowing. When you begin seeing money not as something you chase, but as something that naturally comes when you're aligned with prosperity consciousness, your entire relationship with abundance transforms. This perspective shift releases the struggle and replaces it with a peaceful certainty that accelerates manifestation beyond what most believe possible. If this concept of joyful manifestation resonates with you as a missing piece in your abundance practice, type "Joy is my superpower" in the comments below. Now let's make all of this practical and immediately actionable. The insight that transformed my own manifestation practice was realizing that while the internal work is essential, physical movement creates momentum. The universe responds powerfully when you take even one small, aligned action that demonstrates your commitment to embodying the prosperity you've declared. I invite you to choose just one action today, something simple yet significant, that reflects the energy of your $500,000 is done command. This isn't about making dramatic life changes overnight. It's about creating an energetic bridge between your internal declaration and your external reality through deliberate, symbolic movement. You might organize your workspace the way a wealthy, successful person would, clearing clutter, creating space for opportunity, perhaps adding one beautiful object that represents abundance to you personally. Or you could pay a small bill with complete gratitude instead of resentment, thanking the company for their service and appreciating your ability to participate in this energy exchange. You might even simply walk with the posture and confidence of someone who knows their financial freedom is secured, shoulders back, head high, breathing deeply. What makes these seemingly small actions so powerful is that they represent a decision to live from your declaration rather than your current circumstances. Each aligned action, no matter how modest, tells the universe, I'm not just saying words, I'm reorganizing my physical reality to match what I know is true. This concrete demonstration creates an energetic coherence that accelerates manifestation beyond what most believe possible. The brilliance of this approach is that it bypasses the mental resistance that often blocks larger changes. Your mind might resist major financial decisions that conflict with your current reality, but these small aligned actions slip beneath the radar of your conscious objections while still communicating powerfully to your subconscious and to the universe. These actions serve as physical anchors for your energetic shift. They create reference experiences that your subconscious mind can use to validate your new belief system. Each time you act as if your declaration is already fulfilled, you're creating evidence that supports your new reality rather than reinforcing your old limitations. The journey of transformation becomes particularly powerful when it's shared. There's a magnificent amplification that happens when individuals align their energy towards similar intentions. This is why I invite you to join others in declaring "It is done" in the comments below. This simple act creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you might imagine. When you speak your declaration aloud, you're sending that energy outward into the universe. When you type it, you're anchoring it into physical reality. And when you truly believe it with every cell of your being, you're manifesting it into your lived experience. This three-part process, speaking, typing, and believing, creates a powerful, energetic circuit that dramatically accelerates manifestation. This community declaration serves as both a personal commitment and a collective amplification. Your command gains strength when witnessed by others on the same journey. Their recognition creates a field of supportive energy that makes your manifestation more potent than it could ever be in isolation. If you're feeling the resonance of this approach and are ready to take your first aligned action today, type "taking aligned action now" in the comments below. Now, I want to share something that might completely reshape your understanding of the manifestation process. Transformation doesn't require months or years of spiritual practice, countless affirmations, or endless visualization sessions. The profound shift in consciousness that changes everything about your financial reality can happen in a single moment of clarity and awakening. Many people believe that significant life changes must follow a long, gradual process, that financial transformation must be a slow, incremental journey. But Joseph Murphy's decades of research revealed something revolutionary. The most dramatic financial breakthroughs often occurred in a single moment when someone's relationship with abundance fundamentally shifted. In that instant of clarity, everything changed, not just their thoughts about money, but their entire energetic relationship with prosperity. Think about other transformative moments in your life. Perhaps falling in love, having a spiritual insight, or experiencing a moment of artistic inspiration. These weren't gradual processes, but quantum leaps in consciousness that happened in a flash. Your financial awakening can occur with this same immediacy when you truly grasp the power of "it is done" at the deepest level of your being. This revelation liberates you from the belief that manifestation requires endless preparation, or that you must somehow become worthy of abundance through years of personal development work. The decisive moment that changes everything isn't at the end of some long journey. It's available to you right now, in this very moment, through a single shift in perception. The gateway to this transformation opens when you realize a profound truth about the nature of wealth. You don't attract abundance by chasing it, but by embodying it. This distinction represents the most significant paradigm shift in the entire manifestation process. Most people spend their lives in desperate pursuit of money, working harder, strategizing more, sacrificing their health and relationships in a frantic chase that often leads nowhere. But those who master the art of commanding wealth understand that this approach fundamentally misunderstands how energy works. Money isn't hiding from you, playing some cosmic game of hard to get. It's not testing you or making you prove your worthiness through struggle. Money, like all forms of energy, is simply waiting for you to declare your readiness to receive it. It's waiting for you to shift from the identity of a seeker to the identity of a magnetizer. This shift from chasing to embodying represents the most revolutionary insight on your manifestation journey. When you chase money, you broadcast the frequency of not having it. You energetically communicate to the universe, "I don't have this, and I'm desperately trying to get it." But when you embody wealth consciousness, when you stand firmly in the knowing that $500,000 is already mine, you broadcast a completely different frequency. You're saying, "I am this already. I'm simply claiming what naturally belongs to me." The decision to embody rather than chase creates an energetic signature that money cannot resist. It's like switching from pushing a boulder uphill to standing at the top of the mountain and allowing it to naturally roll toward you. The effort diminishes while the results multiply. If you're feeling a deep recognition of this truth, that perhaps you've been chasing when you should have been embodying, share "I am wealth embodied" in the comments below. Now, I want to circle back to something I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation that contains a profound insight about manifestation. Have you ever noticed a strange pattern in your financial life where you clearly state what you want, like $500,000, but instead receive something that seems like the universe completely misheard you, like an unexpected $500 expense? This puzzling misalignment isn't random or accidental. It's actually revealing something crucial about how your energy is communicating with the universal forces. When there's a disconnect between what you consciously ask for and what you actually receive, it's because your energetic broadcast is misaligned with your verbal request. You might be saying, "I want 500,000 with your words, but your energy, your dominant frequency, might be broadcasting, "I'm worried about money," or "I never have enough." And since the universe responds to energy rather than words, it faithfully delivers experiences that match your true vibration rather than your conscious desires. This misalignment between desire and reality creates one of the most frustrating experiences on the manifestation journey. The sense that the universe is either not listening or actively working against you. But once you understand this principle, you can use it as powerful feedback about your true energetic broadcast. Your current financial reality isn't punishing you. It's simply showing you what frequency you've been consistently transmitting. The revelation that transforms this pattern is recognizing that you can deliberately calibrate your energetic broadcast by creating a deep, emotional connection to the reality you're commanding. This isn't about hollow visualization or repeating empty affirmations. It's about genuinely feeling the freedom that $500,000 would provide, not as a future possibility, but as a present reality. When you can emotionally connect with the sense of peace, expansion, and sovereignty that this level of abundance creates in your life, you accelerate the magnetization process exponentially. Your emotional body becomes the bridge between your conscious command and your energetic broadcast. Think about it this way. Emotions are energy in motion. They're not just internal experiences, but powerful frequencies that radiate from you and interact with the quantum field. When you can genuinely feel wealthy before the physical evidence appears, you're no longer sending mixed signals to the universe. Your words, thoughts, and feelings become coherent, all broadcasting the same clear message. This emotional connection isn't about manufacturing fake positivity or forced excitement. It's about finding authentic resonance with the essence of what this abundance represents in your life. For most people, $500,000 isn't just about the money itself. It's about what that money symbolizes: freedom from constraint, peace of mind, expanded choices, generosity toward others, security for loved ones. When you can tap into the genuine emotional signature of these qualities, when you can feel in your body what it's like to move through the world with this level of freedom and peace, you create a powerful resonance that the universe naturally responds to. This emotional alignment becomes the secret key that transforms your command from mere words into magnetic attraction. If you're beginning to recognize how your emotional state might be creating misalignment between what you're asking for and what you're receiving, share "aligning my emotions now" in the comments below. Now, I want to explore something profound that happens in your body when you speak the words "it is done" with genuine conviction. Have you noticed that subtle yet unmistakable shift that occurs? There's a physiological transformation that accompanies true certainty, a quieting of the nervous system, a release of tension, a settling into a state of peaceful knowing. When you declare "it is done" from a place of authentic alignment, your entire body chemistry changes. Your shoulders relax, your breathing deepens, the muscles in your face soften. This isn't just psychological, it's a measurable biological response. Your body literally shifts from the stress response of wanting and seeking to the rest response of having and knowing. This bodily shift is actually one of the most reliable indicators that you've genuinely connected with the energy of completion rather than just speaking empty words. When certainty replaces desperate hoping, your entire nervous system recalibrates. The constant background anxiety that accompanies financial insecurity dissolves, replaced by a quiet confidence that feels both grounded and expansive. Joseph Murphy observed this phenomenon consistently in his research. Those who experienced the most dramatic financial transformations were those who could access this distinctive feeling of settled certainty. They weren't frantically affirming or visualizing. They were simply resting in the knowing that their abundance was already secured at the spiritual level. This feeling isn't something you need to manufacture or force. It arises naturally when you connect with the truth that abundance is your natural state. The sensation is similar to the relief you feel when remembering something you thought you'd lost was actually in your possession all along. There's that moment of, of course, that settles through your entire system. That's the feeling to cultivate and recognize when you declare it is done. When you can access this state consistently, something remarkable happens in your manifestation process. You've essentially placed your cosmic order with absolute clarity and certainty. Think of it like ordering from the cosmic kitchen. Once you've placed your order with complete specificity, your only job is to maintain your alignment with it being true, while the universal forces handle the details of how it comes to you. This represents one of the most liberating realizations on your abundance journey. You don't need to figure out how the $500,000 will come to you. You don't need to manipulate circumstances or force outcomes. Your responsibility ends with placing the order through your clear command and maintaining the feeling of it being done. Most people sabotage their manifestation by continuing to interfere with the process after placing their order. They worry about the how, try to control the timeline, or keep changing their order based on doubt or new information. But once you've declared it is done with authentic certainty, your only job is to hold steady in that knowing while allowing the universe to orchestrate the perfect unfolding. This balance between commanding with authority while surrendering the details creates the optimal conditions for manifestation. It's simultaneously the most powerful and most peaceful stance you can take, claiming what's yours with certainty while trusting the intelligence of the universe to deliver it in perfect timing. If you've experienced that unmistakable feeling of peaceful certainty when declaring something as done, comment, "The feeling says it all," below. Now, I want to reveal one of the most exciting phases in the manifestation process. What happens after you've declared it is done with genuine conviction. Many people miss these crucial early signs because they're looking for the full manifestation to appear immediately. But the universe typically delivers in stepping stones rather than in one dramatic event. After making your command, begin watching for what I call synchronistic breadcrumbs, those small but meaningful shifts that indicate your manifestation is already in motion. You might suddenly get an idea that feels different from your usual thoughts, clearer, more inspired, carrying an unusual energy of possibility. Perhaps you'll receive an unexpected call from someone you haven't spoken to in years, who mentions an opportunity that resonates with your path to abundance. Or you might find yourself in a conversation that seems coincidental, but contains precisely the information or connection you need. Don't dismiss these moments as irrelevant or random. They are the universe's first response to your command, the initial adjustments in the fabric of reality that begin creating your pathway to $500,000. These synchronicities are confirmation that your declaration has been received and that forces beyond your conscious awareness are now orchestrating possibilities you couldn't have planned or predicted. Joseph Murphy documented this pattern consistently in his research. Those who successfully manifested extraordinary abundance were those who recognized and followed these early signs. They understood that manifestation rarely arrives in one dramatic moment, but unfolds through a series of aligned openings that, when followed with trust, lead to the complete fulfillment of the original command. Think of these synchronicities as the universe's way of co-creating with you. Your job was to make the command with certainty. The universe's job is to create the optimal pathway for its fulfillment. These early signs are your invitation to participate in this co-creative dance by following the breadcrumbs with trust rather than dismissing them with doubt. Now, as we explore these principles more deeply, let's address the fundamental shift in identity that makes all of this possible. The revelation that transformed my own relationship with abundance was recognizing that I was never meant to beg for blessings. I was designed to command them with the full authority of a creator, not a victim. This represents the most profound awakening possible on your manifestation journey. Most people approach the universe as supplicants, pleading, hoping, bargaining for prosperity as if it were a favor to be granted rather than a birthright to be claimed. This posture of begging creates an energetic broadcast of unworthiness that actually repels the very abundance you're seeking to attract. The quantum leap in consciousness happens when you recognize your true role in this creative partnership with universal forces. You are not a passive recipient of whatever financial circumstances happen to come your way. You are an active creator with the divine authority to command your reality through the power of your consciousness. When you declare, "It is done," from this empowered identity, you're not engaging in magical thinking or wishful hope. You're exercising your innate creative capacity with the quiet confidence of someone who understands the laws that govern manifestation. This shift from victim consciousness to creator consciousness changes everything about your relationship with abundance. If you're feeling a resonance with this creator identity awakening within you, type "I command" as creator in the comments below. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to remember something powerful. The words "it is done" aren't just a manifestation technique, they're a declaration of who you truly are. A creator, not a victim. A commander of reality, not a passive recipient of circumstances. The universe has heard your command. The $500,000 you've declared is already in motion, making its way to you through pathways that may surprise and delight you. Your job now is simply to remain in that beautiful state of knowing, that peaceful certainty that what you've commanded is already yours. If this message resonated with you today, if you felt that subtle shift in your energy as we explored these principles together, I'd love for you to type "It is done" in the comments below, not just as a phrase, but as your personal declaration to the universe. When you share those words publicly, you anchor your command in a powerful way. I create these videos because I've seen these principles transform lives, including my own, in ways that seem miraculous to outside observers, but are simply natural law in action. If you found value in today's message, tap that like button as your way of signaling to the universe that you're open to receiving more of this wisdom. And if you're ready to continue this journey of financial transformation, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Each week I share another piece of the prosperity puzzle, another key that unlocks a new level of abundance consciousness within you. There's a video right here that perfectly complements what we've discussed today. It reveals the hidden blocks that might be interfering with your "it is done" commands and how to dissolve them effortlessly. Click and continue with me over there, because your journey to commanding $500,000 is just beginning. Remember, you were born to command blessings, not beg for them, and the universe is listening.